Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I am making this video for the Touch of Giving campaign, which is put on by Kraft and Philadelphia Cream Cheese. And what it does is it donates meals to Feeding the Hungry. For every video that the Real Women of Philadelphia make and post on the website, Kraft and Philadelphia donate 200 meals to Feeding the Hungry. For every photo that we post, they donate 100 meals. So today I'm going to be using the Kraft Touch of Philadelphia cheese, which is a shredded Mexican, this one is a Mexican 4-cheese blend that has a touch of cream cheese in it. This stuff is awesome. It melts fabulously. I just absolutely love it. Now today we're going to be using this in a Spanish style tortilla. It's going to have eggs and potatoes and some salami and onions and this absolutely wonderful, melty, dreamy, creamy cheese. So stay tuned and we will be making the Spanish style tortilla. You asked us to tell you who inspired us to cook. Well, there are several people that inspired me to cook, but one of the first was my great-grandma. This is her here at her old stove in her house in Kansas City, Missouri. And according to my dad and my aunts and uncles, my Grandma Murphy was one of the best cooks that anybody knows. Next person, and you can see it runs in the family, this would be my grandma. My grandma on my dad's side, she died before I was born, but according to my dad, she was a pretty good cook too. Then, my dad. He makes the best cinnamon toast ever. This is him a few years later. And he is the one who inspired me to start cooking. This is me when I was about 2, making tea rings with my mom. Well, I think I just heard my oven timer, so we're going to go get started on our dish for today. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put together the main part of our Spanish tortilla. So the first thing we need is we need a 1/4 pound of hard salami. I just got this from the deli. And then they slice it however they slice it, and then I slice it into thin strips. And we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to cook that. I'm going to pop that into my pan here. Now, I like to use cast iron because, well, cast iron is just awesome. But also, especially for this recipe, this can go right from the stovetop right smack dab into the oven. So I like to use my cast iron, and the eggs don't stick, and so on and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and let this fry up. Squish it around and get some of the greasiness all over the pan here. We're going to fry this up until it's almost crisp. Then I'm going to remove it to a paper towel lined plate to just kind of absorb a little bit of the grease. And then we will continue with our cooking. So let's fry up and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've gotten my salami out here. Now I'm going to go ahead and I added my onions to my pan. And I'm going to go ahead and saute these for just a couple minutes here. Woo! A little smoke going. Turn the fan on. Some of that steam out. And then I'm going to add about 2 cups of their frozen hash brown potatoes. They're the O'Brien style, so they're in the cubes, not the shredded. Add there. And I'm just going to go ahead and saute these up until the potatoes are nice and tender. It shouldn't take maybe 5-6 minutes. If you don't have frozen hash brown potatoes, you can use diced fresh potatoes. That takes about 10 to 12 minutes if you're using fresh potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and get these nice and golden. And then I will go ahead and add my salami back in. And then I will add the eggs. We're going to be using the 8 large eggs. I'm going to whip them up, and we'll put them right in here. Okay, we are also going to go ahead and use 8 large eggs for this Spanish style tortilla with potatoes. Now, I was fortunate enough to be able to get my eggs from a local farmer's market. And so they are going to be absolutely positively perfect and fresh and delicious. Now we're just going to take these 8 eggs and we're just going to go ahead and whisk them up and kind of scramble them up. This is such a yummy dish, and it's actually quite hearty with the potatoes and the salami and the onions and the eggs. So yummy. Alright, now that I've got those all whipped up, now is the time to add our most special ingredient, the Kraft Touch of Philly cheese. Now I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the refrigerator, and I'll be right back and I'll put it all together for you. Okay, we've got our eggs all nice and whipped here. So we're just going to go ahead and add about 1.5 cups of that deliciously yummy Touch of Philly Mexican 4-cheese blend. Give it a little stir. Then I'm going to remove my pan from the heat here. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this egg mixture right over top of my potatoes and salami. All kind of spread out there and alright, then we're just going to pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes or until the eggs are all popped up and ready to go. Alright, I have gone ahead and pulled the tortilla out of the oven, and as you can see, it's nice and golden along the edges and the egg is all puffed up. It's got those bits of crispy salami in there and that Kraft Touch of Philly Mexican 4-cheese blend. And it's going to be absolutely delicious. I hope you enjoyed this recipe as much as we do.